got a toy? Hi, baby.
It inspired us to write a song lyrically, but the music part of the song, we were missing a part in a breakdown. We wanted a breakdown to be like this really big hit, and I always thought it would be really funny to use one of the screams from the Five Nights at Freddy's game. So in Shark Spray, at the very end, the jump scare from Chica when she jumps on the screen, the little duck, that's in Shark Spray. So that like a whole breakdown was written around that. So a lot of people ask me this at shows, and they ask me like how he was, like when I got to meet him and stuff. And the funny thing is, I never met him. It was all through email and messaging and stuff, because we were on tour and Under Oath was also on tour, and so there was no time for both of us to be in the studio. And so it was a lot of, hey, we're gonna reach out to their team, and then their team's gonna reach back out to us and get us the logistics of it. Then we had to send them a Dropbox link of like the recording files and stuff. And so we never talked like in person or anything, like not even over the phone. It was all through email. So it was very weird in that sense, because like I still don't even know him. But it was really cool. He really liked the song and got it to us like right away on tour. Like he went out of his way to record it like at a hotel before their show. So yeah, it was very strange, but it was good at the same time. Probably Blaze's mom. If I need anything, I call her.
Not me?
Sometimes you don't answer because you're asleep. You are one of the heaviest sleepers that I know. I would really like to write a song with the lead singer of Bring the Horizon, Oliver Sykes. I think that would be really cool. I like the way that he writes lyrics and melodies and stuff. I think it would also be cool to write with the band Stand Atlantic, because they have a lot of poppier rock feel to things, and so I think that would be fun. Okay, so this TV show isn't a TV show anymore, like they finished it, but we were watching Vampire Diaries in the bus, and Bring the Horizon had a song on there, and I was like, what are the odds? So I can't obviously cameo on that show, so I don't really know. Like I'm so behind on TV shows. I'm watching them like once they're already finished, and so I don't watch shows that are like just coming out.
If you could have been on it.
If I could have been on one, bro, I would have been on Vampire Diaries right now. I feel like maybe the Hunger Games, that was such a canon event for me. In my childhood, seeing that movie, I dressed up in everything because I wanted to be Katniss Everdeen, and that book series and movie series defined my life for a good like 4 years, so probably that one. Bro, this is such a basic Christian answer. If I could go back in time and hear Monster by Skillet for the first time, I don't know how I would feel about it today, but when I first heard it on that, it's kind of different every song, and especially now with like the Magdalene Rose project, doing that as like a solo artist, it's very different. So I've had to learn new ways to write music. Come here, come here, come here, come on, come on, come on. But yeah, it's very different. For some of the new songs that we're about to release, it just literally started as me having a chorus idea and singing it and writing a melody for it. And then we wrote the guitars and music behind it and like expanded it from there. So it was literally just a chorus melody, and that's how it started. But then other songs, we would have like a guitar riff or even like a drum pattern, and a lot of that stuff we figured out through sound check. And so when we were on tour, we would just do sound check jams and try and play the song as if it was already written and see where it went and what it felt like most naturally to go towards. So a lot of people are very confused, well, not like confused, but they're like curious, like, how did you come up with that name? It's not that like complicated. It's literally just my name. Like, my legal name is Magdalene Rose, and it was Magdalene Rose English, but I just got married, so now it's Magdalene Rose Rojas. I think the biggest difference is just that I had to become my own person. You know, I was no longer a band member, and you know, my whole branding had to be me, and so I had to figure out who I was. And you know, I went through a lot of loss and a lot of confusion and grieving through that process, and it helped me, I like to think, become stronger. There's also a different kind of level of vulnerability I was able to reach because since this project is just me, my music was able to be about my personal struggles, and I was able to dive deeper into some of that, especially with some of the new music that's about to come out. I'm able to have a personal stance with my music and my page, and that's something that is always a little bit hard to do when you have a band because you're a group of multiple people, and as a solo artist it's just me. And so it's a little scary sometimes because it's like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? But it's also freeing because I have that option now. But still trying to 100% figure out who I am, but I don't know if that ever stops in life. We don't have a lot of downtime. Even when we're home, we're still kind of like working from home and like getting stuff ready for a release or recording stuff or writing or trying to film stuff for social media. So we don't have a ton of downtime, but when we do, I'm trying to catch up on a lot of TV shows and movies that I haven't seen, that I should have seen 8 years ago, and I never got time to watch them. I like reading a lot. I was in a little bit of a reading slump, but I'm trying to get back into reading. I have a lot of books on my TBR that I need to get to. We also like playing video games. We like cooking sometimes. Sometimes I get bored, though, of cooking, and so I'm like, let's just go order food. Magdalene Rose. It's hard to choose a favorite one off of the new album because they're all very different, I feel like. There's so many songs to choose from too. But I do really like, am I allowed to say what they're called? One that's always stuck in my head, the demo name of it is called Uncle. It was one where I had the chorus idea and then we wrote around it. And a lot of the music was inspired by a band called Issues. And so it was like Issues was the uncle of that song, so that's why it's called Uncle. I'd say at the moment, Uncle is my favorite one, but it changes all the time. Blaze, why is she sitting like this? As someone who has also struggled with mental health and continues to every once in a while, the truth is that life is just kind of like a cycle of ups and downs. You know, there's gonna be really good times and there's gonna be really bad times, and that's just kind of how you learn about who you are and how you grow stronger. My husband's dad, whenever I would struggle with stuff, he would always tell me and remind me that emotions and feelings aren't good or bad, they just kind of are, and it's what we do with those feelings that makes our decisions good or bad. And for a while I would kind of lean into making myself feel worse, and that's really bad. Like, don't do that. That's not good for you at all. You know, it took me a second to fully figure that out, even though it seems kind of self-explanatory. It's like, oh yeah, don't make yourself feel bad. Like, of course, duh. But sometimes your brain wants to do other things. But if you are struggling, please continue to fight. My DMs are always open if you need somebody to talk to. But also, don't sell yourself short. You know, you're a lot stronger than you think you are, and recovery and being healthy is just right around the corner. If you do give up, you'll never be able to see the potential you have, the strength that you have, these good things that are guaranteed to come into your life. You know, it's super important to have community around you. You know, I was blessed to have my husband's family there for me, but also they pushed me to God and reminded me that I needed him in my life. If that's something that you don't know about or you're not interested in, you know, I'm not here to shove Christianity down your throat, but I will say that I would not have been able to heal and recover from the things that I had gone through if I had not had God on my side. You know, there's a peace that comes from knowing him that just doesn't make sense, and you know, you don't have to worry about having control of your life anymore. You know, he's able to deliver you from that. And each victory is a small miracle. Celebrate each small victory because that's how you measure your progress. I think my favorite tattoo, it's not shown a lot. I have a half back piece and it has a big raven surrounded by peonies. I got it because in the Bible, when Elijah was struggling, he was suicidal, he didn't want to eat, and God sent him ravens to provide food. And it's just another way of God providing for people in hopeless times, and because of that he was able to do all these amazing things through God. God has provided for me through every one of my struggles, and so it's kind of a reminder that through the smallest things, God is able to provide, and it may come in a very strange and unlikely method. You know, it's very weird that a bird just brought this much food, but God works in mysterious ways. And also, I just really like ravens, so I don't know. I've released a couple of like, oh no! That's the laziest pee I've ever seen. Oh, don't lick it. Ew, don't sit in it. No, don't sit down. Stand back up. Get out of your pee. It's gross. Ew! Don't put your foot in it. Oh, it's more. You always see the puppy interviews, and they're always like, oh, I wonder if it pees on me. I thought it was just because they were a lot younger, but I just forget these are big dogs. They're still puppies. But yeah, I've released holiday songs before. Holiday songs, I assume, is just Christmas songs. So I don't know if there's that many that I enjoy enough to cover them, or that I feel like would translate into my style of music. So I don't know that I'd do a whole album of them, but you never know. It's a cosmic, what did the guy say?
Gumbo.
It's a cosmic gumbo.
It's kind of a cosmic gumbo.
It leans into a lot of the nostalgia of like early 2000s Warped Tour bands without the predatory behavior. But I wanted to make you feel like you were back at Warped Tour. As someone who was never able to go to Warped Tour, I just kind of wrote what I thought it would feel like, because I always wanted to go to Warped Tour, but I never had the opportunity. It was partially for nostalgia purposes, partially for me to feel like I got to experience Warped Tour. But it definitely has that like pop punk feel to it, with the more heavy side, like the metalcore side. But we also leaned into not just pop punk, but just pop vocals, and adding like a lot of electronics on top of it. A bunch of genres thrown together, but somehow they still kind of mesh, and it's still a very consistent sound. The story behind all of the songs are a lot of my own personal journey, not just through learning how to be Magdalene Rose, but even earlier in my life. And then there's also stories from people that I really care about. With my new music, it's a lot more vulnerable, and I kind of wanted to tackle some tougher subjects that as Christians we're kind of scared to talk about sometimes, and people are still dealing with them, and they're still struggling and hurting. And so if we don't talk about it, then it's just not going to get better. We'll hopefully bring conversations and help people understand that there is hope, and that there is healing, and there's a way out. Oh, you bit my hand. It just kind of feels like a more mature version of what we used to do. You just laid in pee. You just laid right in the pee spot. You just got a bath too. You probably shouldn't lay in that. I think the hardest part is that I have to deal with a lot of the criticism and judgment on my own. Originally, I had multiple people that like the criticism was aimed towards, but now it is just people attacking me. So that can be difficult, especially because we don't just play venues, we also play churches. And so sometimes churches can be very scared of the music and the way that I dress and the way I do my makeup. So that can be really difficult sometimes, just because it feels like someone is attacking you personally, and they're not attacking the band, they're attacking you. But I know because of the way I do things, I'm reaching kids and adults and people that have felt rejected by the church, or people that feel like they don't fit in. I'm able to minister to those people because they literally are watching me not fit in. But I've had the chance to talk to a lot of young girls especially that feel like maybe the church didn't want them, or people didn't want them, or even maybe God didn't want them. And I've been able to help them understand that that's not the case, and that there's people who are willing to fight for you and willing to cheer you on. You just have to find them. And God is never, ever gonna say that you're not enough and that he doesn't want you, because he wants you every time. He literally sent his son to die for you, and if that's not the ultimate sacrifice, like, I don't know what is. But it can be very difficult sometimes to go through rejection and to hurt so bad like that and feel very alone in it, because, you know, as a Christian, you're supposed to be able to go to people in the church for help, and if they're the ones that are hurting you, it's kind of feels helpless in that situation. Thankfully, that's not the case with all churches. You know, we play a lot of great churches and a lot of lovely people are willing to rally around us, and the majority of churches that we play are really awesome. The hurtful ones can be a lot louder, and that in itself is part of the problem. But we're helping people find churches where they feel like they belong and they have people to rally around them and support them no matter where they're at in life. That's another difficult one because there's so many different facets to what we do, and a lot of it I'm still kind of learning and readjusting my schedule to do things again. But I think the best part is that I get to have my husband and my new family on the road with me. You know, I don't have to travel by myself, and that was a big thing that I was worried about because with GFM it was me and my sisters and my family traveling, and so going into a new entire solo artist career, I didn't want to have to travel with a bunch of strangers because that scares me a lot. So the fact that I was able to immediately jump on the road with he was my fiance he weren't even my fiance at the time, with my boyfriend at the time and his family, and then we got engaged like in between tours and married in between tours. And just to have another family that supports me and is there to laugh with me and cry with me and stand up to protesters with me and all the fun things. Like, we get to have family vacation basically on off days of tour. And so I think that's the best part, is just having a good group of people with me who I know are supporting not just me, but also Magdalene Rose. But that's not why they're supporting me. I wanted to write this song because I wanted people to understand that you don't have to starve yourself in order to feel beautiful by the way that the world says you have to be. I believe God when he says that we are beautifully and wonderfully created, and if no one has ever told you, please let me be the first to tell you that you are beautiful, and God thinks that you're beautiful. And if you haven't felt that way in a long time, I hope that this song can be some sort of comfort to you as someone who has struggled with that and has overcome it. You know, there is healing possible. So we called it Teeth Eater. The original name for the demo was TV Dinner, and I thought that Weston said something else that sounded like Teeth Eater, but I thought it would be really cool because when you struggle with eating disorder, your body starts shutting down. It starts breaking down certain parts of your body that it deems unnecessary in order for survival, and so your teeth can wear away. Essentially, your body is becoming a teeth eater when you struggle with eating disorders, and so it's kind of a weird name, but the hope was that people would be intrigued and wonder what the name meant, and it would give me an opportunity to talk about the song and bring awareness to the struggle of eating disorders. Come here. Look at you up just up. You're so handsome. Aww. You got your little hat on. Here, turn around so they can see. Or you can go back there. That's another option. Hi, buddy. I think that was all the questions we had for our show today. Huge shout out to A Freedom Journey. They are the rescue that I was able to work with to put on this video. All of these dogs are part of the rescue. Some of them are in foster homes, some of them are in the process of being adopted. You can find out which ones are if you go to their social media. It's A Freedom Journey, and they have lots of dogs available for fostering and for adoption. The lady that actually runs Freedom Journey is here, Mandy. She's gonna come over and let you guys know all the information you need to know if you're interested in adopting or fostering puppies or big dogs. That's why we wanted both in them.
So my name's Mandy, and I started A Freedom Journey in September of 2022. And I started it with a dog named Journey, and she is over here in her kennel. That dog came to us severely emaciated and starved, neglected, near death. And we were able to rehabilitate her and show her love. And so that is how A Freedom Journey was started. I now have a beautiful property with dogs, cats, horses, goats, pigs, all the things you can imagine that we have rescued, that we are trying to show love to and show the community that love matters. That's kind of our motto, is love matters. We just want to show everybody that taking in these animals who have never known love, or maybe some of them have been in loving homes but then just can't be cared for anymore. So we take them in and show them that love still matters, and that we can give them a good life and give them a second, third, fourth chance at finding a forever family. Some of our dogs come from shelters, some of them come from the side of the road, some of them come from people's homes, just all various different things. And we bring them in and we rehabilitate them. We work on some training, some socialization, and just getting them healthy and ready to go into their homes. This is Draco. Draco came to us from a shelter. He has a dislocated jaw, so he's got this forever surprised look on him. Sweet boy, not animal friendly, but he's very people friendly. And we're just working on making sure that he knows that he is also loved and that there is somebody out there for him. We've rescued over 500 dogs since September of 2022, and about 50 of them are still with us, but the rest of them have all been placed in wonderful homes. We work every day, 7 days a week, around the clock, around the calendar, to just constantly pour into the animals. All of our information is on our website. The process for adoption, the dogs that are available for adoption, cats that are available for adoption, how to apply, everything is on our website. That is afreedomjourney.com. It also links to all of our social medias, donation links, all of that stuff is on our website. All of the information about our adoption process, like our adoption fee, where that money goes, our story, our backstory, our history, our goals. We try to keep all of that information on our website and our social media.